Now, let's start with the structure of atoms. Okay. So, just now we have studied that what are atoms? Atoms are the smallest particle, which is what? Yeah, it is the smallest particle which is not undergoing any division. Okay, we cannot divide it. Okay, and these atoms are the basic unit of matter, right? So if we want to define atom, what we will say, an atom is the smallest particle of an element that can take part in chemical reaction. Means just now we have seen in chemical reaction what happens, that reactant is there and reactant are combining together and they are forming products, right? So actually what happens, what is exactly combining there, what is actually taking part in chemical reaction? It is nothing, it is only a atom, right? It's an atom which is taking part in chemical reaction. So if we want to define atom, what we will say, an atom is the smallest particle of an element. What is an atom? Atom is the smallest particle of element that can take part in chemical reaction. Okay. Now if we want to see the structure of atom, that is if we want to see the atomic structure, we will come to know that it consists of three subparticles, that is protons, electrons and neutrons. Okay, so what we will say, an atom is the smallest particle of an element that can take part in chemical reaction, right? Now see, atoms of most of the elements are very reactive, right? They do not exist in free state. Mean mostly atoms of element are reactive in nature. They are not free. They are not exist in free state. But there are some elements which are existing in free state. For example, noble gas like helium, neon, argon, krypton. These are what? These are known as noble gas. These are known as inert gas, right? They are not taking part in any, they are not existing in free reaction, they are not existing in free state. That's why they are not taking part in reaction. Why it is so? Because their, yeah, if we see its electronic configuration, their outermost shell is fulfilled. Okay, and because of that what happens, that it is not existing in free state. But there are various atoms of the elements which are very reactive, which are does not exist in free state. Okay, and that's why atoms are, because it is the smallest particle of matter, so we can say atoms are the building blocks of all matter around us. Means whatever matter we have seen, whether it is air, water, whatever it is, so these are all made up of atoms. So we can say na कि matter, atoms are what? Atoms are building blocks of all matter around us, right? Now, what happens when these atoms combine together? Yeah, when these atoms combine together, it is forming molecules. So we can say a combination of atom is called molecule, right? Correct? Now, if we see the structure of atom, what I said, we can see that it is made up of three subparticles. So we can say it is made up of three fundamental particles. What are they? Electrons, protons and neutrons. Okay, now electron is having what charge? Yeah, it is having negative charge. Proton is having positive charge, whereas neutron is having, yeah, no charge. Okay, so we can say neutron is neutral in nature, right? Now proton and neutron, where it is present? Proton and neutron, these are two particles, na, subparticles which is present in atom. So where it is present? Yeah, proton and neutrons are present in a nucleus. Means at the center of atom, protons and neutrons are present, right? And almost entire mass of the atom is in the nucleus only. Why? Because the electrons, electrons are there in an atom, where electrons are present? Yeah, electrons are present outside the nucleus. It is moving in an orbit, right? So because the electrons which are outside the nucleus have very small mass, because of that what happens? Protons and neutrons are forming its mass. Clear? So what I want to say, that protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus of an atom and electrons are rotating outside the what? Outside the nucleus, and that is the reason, because it is electrons are having less mass, because of that, yeah, the entire mass of the atom is present in nucleus. That is because of proton and neutron. Okay, now see, electrons which are negatively charged particle, these are present outside the nucleus. Okay, so in outside the nucleus, where it is rotating? Yeah, it is rotating in a fixed circular path, which is known as an orbit, or we can say energy shells or energy levels, right? Clear? Okay. Now see, what we come to know by this, that atom is the smallest particle which is making matter. Okay, these atoms are made up of three particles, subparticles, that is protons, electrons and neutrons. Protons and neutrons, where it is present? It is present inside the nucleus. Okay, and together it is known as nucleons. Okay, together it is known as nucleons. Clear? Now the atomic number, you all know, I think, what is atomic number. Okay, the atomic number of an element describes the total number of proton in its nucleus. What I want to say, that atomic number of any element is because of the number of proton present in it. Okay, or we can say the number of proton in an atom is known as atomic number. Got it? So if we want to see the atomic number, for example, carbon, what is its atomic number? Yeah, its atomic number is 6. So what I said, that the number of proton which is present in an atom is its atomic number. So if I will say the atomic number of carbon is 6, what will be its proton number? Yeah, its number of proton is 6 only. Okay, so indirectly we can define atomic number as the number of proton in an atom of element is known as atomic number, right? Okay, so what does it mean? That atomic number of any element is equal to the number of proton in atom, right? Now take another example. For example, if I will say sodium element, it is having 11 proton in it. Okay, if I will say it is having 11 proton in it, find out its atomic number. What you will say? What is its atomic number? Yeah, obviously its atomic number is 11. Okay, why its atomic number is 11? Because its proton number is 11. Clear? And always remember that no two elements have same atomic number. Means we cannot say that sodium and chlorine is having same atomic number. No two elements have same atomic number. Okay, so what is atomic number? The number of proton, total number of proton which is present in the nucleus of an atom is known as atomic number. Okay, it is represented by Z. Clear? And all elements have different atomic number. No two elements are having same atomic number. Each and every elements are having different atomic number. Okay, example also is clear. It's like if the atomic number of any for example, if I will say oxygen is having atomic number of 8, what is its proton number? Yeah, obviously it is 8, right? Now come to mass number. What does it mean? What do you mean by mass number? Now see what I said. Which subparticles are present in the nucleus? Yeah, in the nucleus protons and neutron is present. Proton is positively charged and neutron is neutral, right? And electron is revolving around the nucleus in an circular path, that is known as orbit, right? Now what is mass number? Till now we have seen atomic number. Now what does mass number mean? See how we will find out mass number. The total number of proton and neutron present in an atom is known as mass number. Again repeating, listen carefully. The total number of protons and neutrons present in one atom of an element is known as mass number. Got it? So we can say mass number is equal to number of proton plus number of neutron. Correct? So whatever number of proton will be there, you have to add it with mass number, neutron, number of neutron, and you will get mass number. Similarly, if I will say that you will be provided with mass number, right? For example, carbon. Okay, carbon is having the atomic number of 6, right? What will be its proton number? What will be its number of proton? Yeah, obviously it's 6. Okay, and its mass number is given, say 12. Okay, and if it is not given, then also what you have to do, roughly you have to just double the atomic number. Okay, so just double the atomic number. What is the atomic number? It is 6. That means number of proton is 6. And what is mass number? Yeah, double it. It is 12. Okay, so now what I said, what is the formula? Mass number is equal to number of proton plus number of neutron. Now if you want to identify number of neutron, what you will do? Yeah, simply 12 minus 6, that is your 6. So you can say the the number of neutron will be 6, right? So in that way we are finding out mass number and neutron number. If mass number is given, you just simply minus it with proton number, and if number of proton and number of neutron is given, then to just simply add it, so you will get the mass number. Got it? Clear? Now there is another term, that is valency. You know what is valency? What is valence electrons? Now see, if we want to know about electronic configuration, let's take an example of oxygen. What's the atomic number of oxygen? It is 8, right? So 8 means what will be its electronic configuration? We all know, as per 2n square for law, we all know that in the shell, n is the orbit. So in first shell, how many electrons will be there? Yeah, 2. In second shell, 8. Third shell, 18. And if 8 will be fulfilled, so 9th will be goes to the next orbit, so that it becomes stable, right? So as per this, what is valency? What is valency? What is valence electrons? The number of electrons present in the last shell, the number of electrons present in the outermost shell is known as valence electrons. Got it? For example, oxygen. What will be its electronic configuration? Whenever we are asking for it, just write down its electronic configuration first. Okay. So if I will say oxygen is 8, its atomic number is 8. What will be its proton number? Yeah, 8, right? So just write down its electronic configuration. What it will be its electronic configuration? 2 and 6, right? 2, 6. Okay. So in outermost shell, how many electrons are there? 6. Obviously it is 6. So 6 will be your valence electrons. Correct? Now what I said, how many electrons should be there in second shell? Yeah, it is 8. So to fulfill itself, to make itself stable, what it will do, it will either take 2 electrons or it will lose 6 electrons. So now the question arises, what it will do, whether it will accept 2 electrons or it will lose 6 electrons. Now see, it is very difficult to lose 6 electrons. Because why it is difficult? Because lots and lots of energy is required to lose all those 6 electrons. So what will be better? Yeah, to accept 2 electrons will be better. Okay, so now this explains that whatever number of electrons, whether it is losing or gaining, okay, to make itself stable, what it is doing, it is either losing the electron or it is gaining the electron. Okay, so that losing or gaining of electron to make itself stable is known as valency. Got it? It is known as valency. Okay, now just see, if we want to just look at this structure, you will be able to understand that what we can do for this to show the atomic number, where we are writing atomic number and atomic mass, that I have just skipped there. So see, X I have written, that is your symbol. Whatever element we are having, that is having any symbol. For example, carbon is having C, chlorine is having Cl, sodium is having Na. Okay, magnesium is having Mg. So these are all symbols. So symbol you have to write first, and then at the left hand side lower corner, what will be there? The left hand side lower corner, it will be your atomic number, and left hand side above corner, it will be your mass number, that you are just calculating by adding proton number and neutron number, right? Clear? So just I have taken the example of carbon. Its atomic number is 6. So see, at lower side in the left hand side I have written 6, and above left hand side above corner I have written 12. Got it? And if we want to calculate its proton number, so we will come to know that because its atomic number is 6, so its proton number is 6. How we will find neutron number? Yeah, just minus it by the mass number. So 6 minus 12 minus 6, it is 6. Okay, and number of electrons, obviously it is 6 because atomic number is 6, right? Now see, I have given just an example to explain you. See, what is the question? An atom is having atomic number of 9 and a mass number of 19. What is given there? Atomic number is given 9, mass number is given 19. Now what you have to do first is determine the number of proton present in it. What will be number of proton? Yeah, obviously 9. Why 9? Because its atomic number is 9. So what we know, that number of proton is equal to number of atomic number of electron in it. What will be its atomic number? That will be its proton. So it is 9, right? Now, what will be the number of neutron in it? Yeah, obviously what you have to do, you have to just minus it by 19. Means number of neutron will be mass number minus atomic number. So 19 minus 9, it will be 10, right? Third question is, what will be the number of electron present? So obviously, because its atomic number is 9, number of proton is 9, so how much electrons it will have? Yeah, it's 9. Got it? It's just an example. You just go through this, you will be able to clear how all these type of questions have to be solved, right? Now, valency, I was explaining. What is valency? First, valence electrons I have explained. What are valence electrons? Yeah, the number of electrons present in the outermost shell, that is valence electrons. And what is valency? The number of electrons it is gaining or losing to make itself stable, that is known as valency. Okay, and it is also known as oxidation state. Oxidation state of an atom is what? Number of electron it is losing or gaining, that is only oxidation state. That means it will, if it will lose electron, okay, so it will be positive charge, and if it will be gaining electron, it will be negative charge. Okay, for example, oxygen is having 2 6, right? So what it will do, it will take 2 electrons to make itself stable, then only it will be 2 8, and it will have a noble gas configuration, stable configuration, right? So for that, what it will do, yeah, definitely it will take 2 electrons. So because it is taking, how many, what will be its valency? इट इज -2. अगर लेगा तो साइन माइनस होगा, देगा तो साइन प्लस होगा. ओके, सो बिकॉज इट इज टेकिंग, इट्स साइन विल बी, या sign will be, because it is taking, its sign will be -2. 2 electrons it is taking, so its sign will be +2. Okay, for example, lithium is having atomic number of 3. So what is electronic configuration? 2 1, right? So what it will do, it will take 2 electron, it will lose 1 electron. Yeah, definitely it will lose 1 electron, because it is losing of 1 electron is easier. It will take less energy as compared to taking 2 electrons, right? So what it will do, it will lose 1 electron. So for losing, what will be its valency? Yeah, +1. Got it? So if it is losing, your charge will be plus, and if it is gaining, it will be negative. Clear? Now, so we can say that whatever electrons are present in the outermost shell, that is your valence electrons, and the number of electron it is gaining, any element when it is gaining or losing electron, that will be your valency. Okay, so oxidation state also we can say that for oxidation state, whether the element is losing or gaining electron, that is only its oxidation state. Okay, now there are when you will study periodic table, then you will come to know there are 4 types of blocks: S, P, D and F. Okay, so in S, P, D and F blocks, there are different configuration. You just look at this structure, S, P, D and F. So these are the periodic table, roughly it is drawn, and in that +1 +2 +3 they have explained it, that what will be its valency. Whatever is in the what will be in the first group, it will have +1 valency, second +2, then +3, 0. 0 means they are noble gas. For example, neon its atomic number is 10, so its electronic configuration is 2 8, right? So it will not take electron, neither it will take electron, nor it will lose electron. That's why its valency will be 0. So like that, they are having valency, that you will study later on. I will explain it afterwards, right? Now, just I have taken one example. In this structure, this is the electronic configuration or electronic structure of magnesium. Magnesium, its atomic number is 12, right? So if we want to write its electronic configuration, what it will be? It is 282, right? So what will be its valence electron? Yeah, obviously in last shell it is 2. Got it? And what will be its valency? What it will do, it will lose 2 electrons to make itself stable, or it will gain 6 electrons. Yeah, it will lose 2 electrons. Why it is losing 2 electrons? To make itself stable, because 2 electrons will take less energy as compared to taking 6 electrons, right? So its valency will be 2. So if we want to write, its valence electrons is 2, valence is also 2, and its electronic configuration is 2, 8, 2. Now just think what will be its number of proton. Yeah, it is 12 because atomic number is 12. Number of electron, obviously it is 12. And what will be its mass number? 12 to the 24, right? 24. And what will be its number of neutron? Correct. 24 minus 12, it is 12. Got it? So this is how we have to calculate. Okay. Here I have given some. Here I have given a table in which you can be clear from 1 to 10. 1 to 20. I have given you atomic symbols. Then atomic number. On the basis of atomic number, what will be the number of proton, neutron, and electron? And then its electronic configuration in K, L, M, N shell, and then valency. You just do one thing. Don't look at all those things. This number of proton, neutron, electronic configuration, valency. Try to find it out by yourself. Okay, this is already there with you. Okay, but try to find it out. You just write all these from atomic number 1 to 20. Right? Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. Okay, this is from atomic number 1 to 20. Okay, you are having this in line, you have to learn it. Got it? But do one thing, you just have atomic number, so try to find out your number of proton, each of them. For each elements you have to find out number of proton, number of neutron, number of electron, write its electronic configuration, and then find out its valence electron and valency. Try to do it by yourself. You will be able to clear with this concept, right? Now another example I have taken, that hydrogen, it's obviously its atomic number is 1. So what will be its electron? 1, proton number 1. Okay, and valency, see, valence electron is also 1 and its valency will also be 1. Okay, now carbon also I have written. See, number of proton will be 6 because its atomic number is 6. Obviously number of electron will also be 6. Correct? Now what will be its electronic configuration? Yeah, 2, 4. So in the outermost shell, how many electrons are there? Yeah, 4. So its valence electrons are 4. And what will be its valency? Yeah, 4. Right? So this is how, that's what we have studied today. So what we have studied? First, law of chemical combination. In that we have studied two laws: law of conservation of mass, law of constant proportion. Correct? Then we have studied Dalton's atomic theory, in which we have studied various postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. Okay, then we have seen structure of atom, in which we have studied electron, protons and neutrons. Okay, then we move to structure of atomic number and atomic mass, that is also known as mass number. Then we have started calculating valency and concept of valence electron. So this much we have done today, and I hope that you have come clear with this concept. Okay, so this much we have completed. Thank you.